Hey folks, good morning. Today I am going to show you what I would do with $1,000 if I was going to invest it today. So I realized that I screwed up my live stream today. Somehow I ended up scheduling it for 10 a.m. Because for the last 6 months here in the part of Arizona that I'm in, they don't recognize daylight savings time. So in October, when we fell back, Arizona stayed the same. So it became, it was 9 a.m. in Las Vegas. It was 10 a.m. in Arizona where I was. And so for 6 months, I was putting in 10 a.m. and then we just sprung forward. So Las Vegas went to the same time zone as where I'm currently at. And so I've done a pretty good job of scheduling it for 9 a.m. But this morning I was kind of in a hurry and I got it scheduled for 10 a.m. So hopefully that doesn't hurt the views too bad. Some people might jump in a little late. Hopefully, though, they'll get notified and see that we're going live. But today we're going to talk about what I would do if I had $1,000 to invest. And I want to make it clear that this is just what I would do today with this $1,000. This isn't like, hey, if I only had $1,000 to invest, this is where I would put it. This is assuming like if I just had $1,000 today that I wanted to throw into the market, how would I deploy $1,000 today? With an assumption that $1,000 is going to be a part of a bigger amount of money that is going into my portfolio, long term. So with that, I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Let's see what we got going on. We got Mr. Dave P. Good morning, Dave. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Mr. William Trujillo, thank you for joining us. Hope you are doing fantastic out in Las Vegas. We got Mr. Eric Bernstein. Hello, hello. How's it going, brother? Hope you are doing good. I want to say Colorado, right? I think it's Colorado, maybe. No, I know it's Colorado. I hope you guys are all doing great. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. This is a little bit different than what we normally do on the Microcap Gem Wednesday live stream. Don't get me wrong. I'm still open to having you guys throw some tokens in the chat. If you, would, if you've got some tokens that you're looking at, I don't think it's going to take me the whole stream to go through the whole, my plan here. There's really only, I'm making about 5 or 6 moves with this $1,000. So it's not like I'm putting $25 into 40 coins. I've got a little bit of a plan and just gonna show you guys what I would do with $1,000. And I think that shouldn't take me too long. Maybe 30 minutes, we'll see. And one of the reasons that I wanted to do this also, guys, is I wanted to show you my thought process a little bit and why I'm doing this $1,000 this way and what I'm hoping to see kind of come from it, the kind of returns that I'm hoping to expect, and when I'm looking to expect, hopefully, you know, these returns. So with that, I have this up here on the screen. This is from yesterday's live stream. We had an incredible live stream with the Wonder team, and Kane came on, and this Wonder project looks pretty amazing, folks. And we do have the opportunity to still invest right through your own private wallet. You can connect your MetaMask wallet. You don't have to do anything through me or through a third party. It looks like Happy is excited about it. He put $300 into it, man. Congratulations. I hope that goes extremely well. I'm looking forward to it also. So if you weren't able to watch that interview yesterday, I recommend going back and checking it out. You get 25% of your tokens at launch. It's looking to launch in May. If the markets are frothy and Bitcoin is going crazy, they're looking to launch in the beginning part of May. If for some reason the markets haven't heated all the way up yet, then they're looking at maybe middle to end of May. But May, nonetheless, is when they seem to be very committed to launching that project. So I think it's going to be a good one. Like I say, with 25% at launch, you know, we just need it to 4x in order to get our initial investment back out. And then there's a 1-month cliff. So you don't get any tokens for 30 days, then tokens accrue for 30 days. So then you're going to get your next batch of tokens 60 days after the initial launch. And then they're going to give the remaining 75% of the tokens out in, I want to say, 4 months. So it's a kind of a weird number. 75 divided by 4 is not an even number, but it's what, you know, 80 divided by 4 would be 20%. So it's a little under 20%, say 17, 18% a month for 4 months. So you'll have all of your tokens within a 6-month period of time. If it launches in May, so you got May, and then none in June, and then you get them in July, August, September, October. So that should still be right smack dab in the middle of some good times. Anyways, folks, not financial advice, but this is a really cool looking project. And for those of you that were on the live stream yesterday, I think a lot of people got excited about it. So good morning. Happy to have you, Happy. Good to see you. Trying to think, Happy, were you one of the ones that won the giveaway? You were. Hey, Happy. So this is for Happy and anybody else that won the giveaway yesterday. I spoke too soon. I goofed up. I didn't have USDT in my Coinbase network yet, and so I'm working on getting some things moved around. I'll get that money moved over to my Coinbase MetaMask wallet and get those that $100 that I gave away, $25 a piece. I will get that done at some point in time today. So keep an eye on your wallet, keep an eye on the YouTube channel. I will go into the interview later today when I'm all done, and I will make a comment and pin the comment saying that all winners have been paid. So thank you very much for your patience. You're not imagining things. Nothing has shown up in your wallet yet, but it will. So with that, folks, let me get over here to my famous screen share, and let's take a look at what I would do with $1,000. So the first thing that I want to let you guys know is that I'm being a little bit aggressive, yet also a little bit conservative. Like I would, you know, for those of you that have been watching the channel for a long time and have seen me and some of the plays that I make, I'm kind of curious towards the end of this video if you think that the $1,000 plan that I had is more aggressive than what you would have assumed I would have done, or less aggressive. And my guess is that you guys are going to be maybe like a little bit like, hey, this isn't as aggressive as I thought Brad would be with $1,000 today. So there's a little something for everyone. Well, hello there, Rocky. There's a little something for everybody in here. There are a couple of aggressive plays, and then there are a couple of, you know, obviously, in my opinion, what I would consider to be really not aggressive plays. Like there's a couple of tokens that I'm going to recommend that, in my opinion, you cannot lose money on. But let's go over. So the first thing that I would do if I had $1,000 today is I would put $150 into a trade on Polygon and $150 into a trade on HBAR. And the reason that I would do this, folks, and I'll show you guys right here. You can see on a smaller trade, I have $64 in this Polygon trade, and right now it is worth 85 bucks. So this is what I would do to give myself the maximum possibility that this 150 could do something special. Is I would put in $50 trade right now at this, you know, 23 cent range. And then that's going to give you a $2.30 cushion. So if we take, or excuse me, a 2.3 cent cushion. So if we take Polygon Matic, grab my calculator here. If we take the Polygon Matic at 2330, 0.23, what's it at? 35, we'll call it. So times 10%, that's 0.2335 cents. So then if we subtract 0.2335, so that would take your $100 trade down to 21 cents roughly. So just to be clear, I would go in, I would make a $50 trade at 10x isolated leverage on Polygon at its current price of about 23.35. That's going to then make my second trade at just over 21 cents. So I would probably, to be safe, I would do my second trade at 0.2125 for 100 bucks. $50 at the 2335, $100 at roughly 0.2125. Once you make your initial trade, you can look in here and see, like right now, my liquidation price on this trade I did a few weeks back, and I actually got in at a little over 20 cents. And so I'm doing pretty well here. You guys can see here, I'm up 131% on this trade. My $65 is now worth 65 plus an $85 profit. My HBAR trade, I wanted to get into this last night when I saw this. My HBAR trade, I got in at 19 cents, a little over 19 cents, and my liquidation is 17 cents. But anyways, back to Polygon. So if you take 2125, so 0.2125 times 10% gives you 2.1 cents minus 0.2125. That means you would lose your $150 if this thing got all the way back to about 0.19125. So if it went to 19 cents, just over 19 cents, you would get liquidated and you would lose your 150 bucks. And you know, I showed you guys many times over the last few weeks why I felt like Polygon was pretty close to bottomed out, but the risk versus reward is there. So I want to show you guys this again. For those of you that don't watch the Trader Tuesdays, Polygon is going to be 1,000%. I'd be willing to bet everything I own that it's going to go back up to over $1 in 2025 over the next probably 2 or 3 months. Anytime the market has done well, Polygon runs right up to about $1. So even at $1, this trade here is going to be worth $2,487, and that's on about a $65 bill. So if you've got $50 in, it would be slightly less, and it would also be a little bit less because you're getting in at a slightly higher price. But I'm not placing this $50 trade and this $100 trade to sell this at $1. I am very much of the opinion that it's very possible for this thing to reclaim its previous all-time high at $3, and it could go even higher. But for today, I'm looking at riding this trade up to about $3. So you can see here at $3, this would be worth about $8,755. So I believe that even a $50 bill at today's prices is still going to be worth in the ballpark of about $5,000 to $6,000. So if you go put in this trade, $50 at the current price, $100 at the 21.25. If it goes down to the 21.25 and that $100 gets put into the trade, well, then your numbers are going to be much better if you don't get liquidated. So if it comes down to 21.25 and you get the 150 in there, or the 100 in there, and then it never comes down below the 19-cent range, and you got that whole 150 in play, well, now you can take these numbers and go up quite a bit more with them, because you can basically see here that with $65, I'm looking to make $87.55. If you've got 50 in at today's prices and 100 in at 21.25, you're going to have a lower cost average than you do if the 50 is the only money that goes in there. You're also going to have 150 in the trade instead of the 65 that I have in this trade. So that would mean that the potential on a $3 token, you would probably be up closer to double this number, and you would be at, you know, somewhere between $13,000 and $15,000 on a $150 trade. So that is what I would do with 150 bucks. The other 150, I would do the same thing with HBAR. So you can see here, I got in, my entry price was at 0.19408 cents, so 19.4 cents basically. You know, right now it's at 19.411. It's basically break even. And, you know, it looks like I was able to get $36 in on this. For some reason, I was thinking I wasn't going to get that much. I thought I was only getting 20 or 25 the way that my money was yesterday. But I just wanted to get this trade in. I'm glad that you guys can be seeing it. And so I want to show you the numbers. We're going to extrapolate this out. So 36 times 4 would be what? 120 and then 24. So 144. That'd be pretty close to 150. And then obviously, if you get 50 in right now, you're looking at, you know, a little bit more than what I've got going on here. So HBAR has also gotten knocked down pretty significantly. If we go and take a peek at HBAR, you can see here, just not that long ago at all, it was up over 50 cents. And my personal belief, and I think a lot of people in the cryptocurrency markets believe that this can be, you know, a $1, $2, $3, maybe even $4 or $5 token towards the peak of this bull market. And so with this trade here, if we go over here to the take profit stop loss, I just want to show you this $32. If this goes up to $1, my $32 is worth, you know, 1,500. And, you know, what is 50 divided by 3? 1667 or something like that, right? 16 times 3 is 48. And then a little bit of change, so like 1667, right? So 1667 twice is closer to 34 than 32. But my point is, this is roughly 2/3 of a $50 bill. So you can then take this number here at $1 and basically, you know, a third of 1,500 is about 500. So if you had $50 into this trade instead of the 30, you know, the 32 that I have, or the 36 that I have, this would be worth roughly a $2,000 bill on a $50 investment. So you're looking at a 40x when this thing gets to $1. If it goes to $3, like I think there's a very realistic possibility of happening, you're looking at a $5,200 bill on 50 bucks. And then you're getting, or this is on $36, so you're getting another third of that. So 5,200. What is 1800 times 3 would be 5400. So it's more like, say, 1700 would be 51. So let's just call it another 1700, round down a little bit. 1700 plus 52 is 62, 69. Let's just round it up. Like basically this would be a $7,000 trade if you go put $50 in on HBAR right now, and it runs up to $3. Now with the same strategy, if you're putting in $50 at 0.194, we'll call it. It's a little bit higher than that, but let's just call it 194. And then you multiply that by 10%. Folks, you guys have, sorry, I just get distracted for a second. I want to pop that off the screen so it's not bugging you guys anymore. But that would give you 0.194 cents. So subtract 0.194. It takes you down to 17.46 cents. So 0.1746 cents. So you would go in and put a $50 trade in right now at this price. Then you would go down to about 17.75 cents and place a $100 trade. And that's going to get you another, 1.7 cents, which would take you all the way back to 16 cents. And as you can see here, folks, if we just do like, say, the 3-month chart, if I can get it to switch over, you can see that this thing, it dipped down to that's 19. There's 18. So I can't even find a spot along here where it's dipped below 18 cents in the last, pretty long distance of time. You have to go all the way back to, where do we got to go all the way back to here in this ballpark? So you got to go all the way back to November of 2024 to get down into lower price range than, 17 cents. So I think there's a really high possibility that this thing's never going to get stopped out of even the $50 trade. But if it does get down into the 17s and you get $150 in, and now your liquidation is down at 16 cents, I think that there's an incredible possibility that you never get liquidated and you're able to run this thing back up. So obviously, if we go back up here and we look at this, say at $1, it's worth $1,500, $2,000 if you go get $50 in it. And if it does come back down, you got a lower cost average and you got 150 in it. That is going to, triple this. So it'd probably be more like a $5,000 bill at $1 if it does come back down to the 17-cent range and you get that second $100 trade placed in. So these are both aggressive because if the bottom falls out of crypto and Bitcoin runs all the way down to, $65,000, you could get stopped out of these trades. And this is just with this $1,000 what I'm doing, folks. If I go put these two trades in, there is a reasonable possibility that I'm not going to let these things get stopped out. If a week or two or a month from now, Bitcoin has dropped down to 65,000 and these things are on the verge of getting liquidated, I will probably go in and put, another $200 or $300 into these trades to keep them alive. But the risk versus reward, in my opinion, is solid here. You're basically risking $50 to make $2,000 if all you did was go put in a trade at this 19.4 cents and you never backed it up. As long as HBAR didn't go down to around 17 cents, this trade would stay in play. And if it doesn't go down and get liquidated at 17-ish, it will be a $1 token, in my opinion, over the next handful of months. Not financial advice. Please do your own research, do your own due diligence. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't show you on a chart, why I believe that. But if we go back here, fundamentally, if we go back and we're looking here at, this being, a closing in on 50-cent token not too long ago, and it's still like right now, it's only ranked 21st And I think that there's a very reasonable possibility that this could be a top 10 token during this bull run. I foresee $1 being a really not that big of a deal for this thing to go to 19 cents and go up to $1. So those are the first two trades. Those took longer. Those took longer to talk about than the rest of them are going to take. But that's how I would spend the first $300. $50 on a Polygon, and then a $100 backup trade on Polygon, $50 on Hedera, and then a $100 backup trade on Hedera. And then the next thing that I would do that might be slightly surprising to you guys is I'm really trying to get into the habit of taking 5 to 10% of the money that I'm going to invest into crypto and buying Bitcoin with it. You know, I will, if there's one thing that if you ask me, hey, Brad, if you could go back to 2016 and change one thing about your investment strategy, I think the one thing that I would change that I've had a little bit of regret over is that I didn't accumulate enough Bitcoin. And part of the reason for that is I always really believed that Bitcoin was not going to do as big of numbers as a lot of the altcoins. And while that is somewhat true, the trouble is that there's altcoins that I made a lot of money on in 17, 18 when things were going up and I caught the little bit of that bull market that then got slaughtered and went all the way down. So XRP, Ripple was one of the tokens that I got into very early in my investing career. And I watched Ripple go from 20, 25 cents all the way up to $3.60 by January of 2018. And at that point, I didn't ride it all the way back down because what I started doing was I started selling some XRP here and there to buy other tokens, and then I kind of rode those tokens back down. But my point is, if you would have bought XRP at a quarter, during that time frame, there was opportunities to buy Bitcoin at 3,500, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000. So with that one particular coin, you would have been about even roughly. So like right now, XRP is 240. So if you were buying XRP at 25 cents back in 2017 and you just held XRP, or if you were buying Bitcoin back at $8,000 and you just had held your Bitcoin, you would be roughly even. But there's a lot of other tokens that's not the case. Like I'll go down right here to, where is it? Stellar. Stellar here was a $1 token towards the peak of that bull market. And now it's 28 cents. And so if you were buying Stellar during that 17 bull run, you could have been getting into it at 50, 75, even $1. And then we peaked out. And so you would still be underwater. If you would have bought $100,000 worth of Stellar at the peak of the bull market in 17, 18, that would have been, at $1 a token, you would have had 100,000 tokens. You'd have had $100,000 that would now be worth at 29 cents. You'd have 29 grand. And we're talking about, this is, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Like we're talking 7 going on 8 years later, your 100,000 in XLM would have turned into 29 grand. Now, I think you're going to make money on XLM if that was you. But my point is Bitcoin peaked at about $20,000 during that bull market. So if you would have bought 5 Bitcoin, you would have $100,000 in Bitcoin at 20,000 a piece. And here we are 8 years later, those 5 Bitcoin, even at today's prices, which is what, about 86? So if you take 5 times 86, that's a little over, 400,000. So your 100 grand would be worth over $400,000 had you bought 100 grand in Bitcoin back in 2018 when it peaked at 20,000, versus most of the altcoins that you could have bought back in 2018 at the peak of the bull market. They are not worth more money today than they were worth then. Have a great day, son. Love you, buddy. And so I really believe that I made a mistake and that I didn't accumulate enough Bitcoin. Now, that's not to say that I'm excited to go out and buy 50 or 75 or 100% of my portfolio in Bitcoin, but I am just setting up, like, let's say that I have a $10,000 month. I make $10,000 and I'm going to invest 10% of that. So I'm going to invest $1,000 into crypto. 10% of that 1,000 is going into Bitcoin, and then the other 900 is going to go into other stuff. So that is the third thing that I would do, is I would buy $100 in Bitcoin. Now we're going to go take a peek at one of the highest risk tokens that I would put $100 into, and that token is called Token In. You've heard me talk about it on the channel. My average cost on this token is at about 2.5 cents. So I'm down 75 to 85% on this token. But I still think that this is an amazing project with an amazing opportunity to dollar cost average. And if you kind of take a look at the last, little bit here, it's kind of hard to see, but it actually went down even slightly lower than this 0.045. But this is pretty close to its all-time low. Its all-time low, folks, was 0.033. So it could go down a little bit more, but this is a pretty incredible project. It's only at $122,000 market cap. And, the owner of this project and I are in close contact. And, so he just messaged me this morning, hey, we've got a $10,000 tournament announcement. Retreat would be appreciated. So the team is still working. If you go to X and look at this, they've got this incredible little contest going on right now where in Placers, it's time to awaken the power of the ruins on March 29th. So we got, a couple of days to get prepared. At 10:58 UTC, the new moon rises, and with it comes the most awaited tournament of 2025, Ruin Surge. A surge of forgotten energy echoes through the depths. Play for free on game.dev play. For the entire lunar cycle, you'll explore ancient ruins, battle monsters, and collect artifacts infused with traces of primal power. Prize pool, $10,000. The top 300 heroes with the most artifact points will share the rewards based on their ranking. So this is an incredible opportunity to go play the game, get excited about what they actually offer, and you guys would have an opportunity to see, why I am so excited about this project. And so once again, they're at here for Telegram. Is at in on game is their Telegram handle. So I'm gonna just pop this into the chat. Hey, here where you can see it. And then Zida, glad to have you here. I told Happy earlier that I made a mistake yesterday, that the base network wasn't where I had my funds. So I'm getting some funds moved over to my base network MetaMask today. I did see your messages, and I know you were a winner from yesterday's giveaway, and I will make sure that you get paid before the end of the day today. So with that, though, this is their Twitter handle if you want to go check out their Twitter and go check out this contest. But in my opinion, this token right here at $122,000 market cap is an incredible spot, and I would throw $100 at this high risk play. You can see here that it was a 44-cent token in March of 2024, about a year ago. So it's retraced 99%. But once again, you guys didn't see this. I didn't do a very good job of sharing my screen, but this is the owner of the token, of the project, and him and I are in great conversations. We talk all the time. He's the one that alerted me here to this contest that they were doing. And so, if you go check out their Twitter post, go to this ongame.dev play, click on that, and you can actually create an account and play this game and have a potential to win some tokens. They're giving away $10,000. It wasn't clear to me in the tweet if it was going to be if it was $10,000 in USDC, USDT, or token in tokens, but it'll probably be token in tokens is my guess. But anyways, this is, you know, a higher risk, higher reward play, $100,000 market cap. This is the type of token that if you get lucky and it takes off during a bull market, you could do some very special things with $100. Last but not least, we're back to a couple more tokens that are a couple of my favorites. And I've been talking about them a lot lately. You guys have probably guessed the first one is right in here somewhere. Where'd it go? Well, I'll go, yeah, they're both right here. So Cosmos. Cosmos is sitting at just under $5. It is a $45 token. You know, during the last bull market, this thing peaked up at almost $45. And right now you can earn about a 15% APR by buying it and staking it. So I would go and buy $250 worth of Atom, and then I would stake that at the 15%. And my particular strategy would be wouldn't be looking to sell it until it was somewhere up in the minimum of the $20 to $25 range. And then I would be taking a close look at Bitcoin and seeing where Bitcoin was when this thing got to 20 or 25 bucks and making a decision then, because I do think it's possible for this token to go much higher than that during this bull market. But, you know, if I'm sitting at a 4 or 5x and I've earned, some free tokens, you would get 50 tokens. 50 times 5 is 250. So you get about 50 tokens. So at 15%, that would be, you know, about 7.5 tokens a year that you would earn in interest. Doesn't sound like a lot, but let's just say that you hold this thing for 6 months and it goes up to $50 in 6 months, and you have earned, you know, 3.5 tokens that are worth 50 bucks a piece. That's $175 in interest on a $250 investment, not to mention your 50 tokens. If they're worth $50 a piece now, that is what, another $2,500? So $2,500 plus the $175 in interest, you're at $2,700 on, you know, a $250 investment. And then this is a token that my plan for this token is to ride it up as high as I think it's going to go during this bull market, sell it off. I'm going to segregate the money. So let's just say that, for instance, let's say that, you know, for easy math, I'm looking, let's say I get $10,000 into this token and it goes up and it 10x's and I end up cashing out for 100 grand. Well, I'm then going to take that 100 grand, put it in a separate account, USDC or USDT, earning a little bit of interest someplace safe. And then when this token runs back down during the next bear market and it comes down to $10, $15, $20, whatever happens, that's when I'm going to deploy that 100,000 back into that token. Because let's say that I can, let's say that I get this token, it comes back down to $10. Well, I can now buy at a $10 token with 100 grand, I can buy 10,000 tokens. And I showed this math one time before, but if you've got 10,000 tokens and it's earning 50% or 15%, that's what? How many tokens is that? So that'd be 1,500 tokens, right? 10,000 times 15% is 1,500. 1,500 divided by 365 days of the year gives you 4 Atom a day. So let's just say that Atom, you know, hangs out at around $10 during the bear market. That's $40 a day times 30 days is $1,230 roughly, or a little over $1,200 a month in passive income that you're earning. And for me personally, I'd probably be taking that $1,200 and buying another 120 Atom while the bear market was in play. But then, man, holy smokes, the next time this thing goes up and it runs up to 50 or 75 or $100 a day for several months during the 29, 30 bull market, this could make you a fortune, and it could be one of the investment that allows you to really consider, quitting your job, because you get up to, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 of these tokens, and all of a sudden, just your daily tokens that your 15% is getting you is worth several $1,000s a month. And then last but not least, folks, is Vechain. So another token that's been on my radar, I've owned this token all the way since back in 2017, is Vechain, VET, sitting at 2.671 cents. Its previous all-time high was 28 cents here back in 2021. Right now I've been talking to Sunny Liu, the founder, the owner of Vechain. We met at Bitcoin 2021, I guess it was, in Miami Beach, Bitcoin 2021. My wife and I met him at a after-hours party. I've stayed in touch with him ever since, and I was just talking to him recently. Vechain is an OG. It's been around. If we look at it here, we can see that, its all-time low it's showing here was back in 2020, but that's not totally true because they did a reverse split. There was a point in time when Vechain was a $1 token, and they did a 100 reverse split. So for every one Vechain you had that was worth $1, you ended up getting 100 that were worth a penny. And so its actual all-time low was technically back in probably 2016 is when I think this launched. And that was probably its all-time low. I can't swear to it though, but I was buying this thing back here in 2020 when it was down under a penny. And this is a project that I've always liked. If you hold this token in a wallet, you've got, Vechain wallet. This one here is not where I've got the majority of it, but let me see if I can find this wallet here real quick and pop it open so you guys, I don't know if some of you guys may or may not know this about Vechain. Where is my wallet? Goodness sakes, man. Can't believe it. I got 27 pages of apps, but this wallet should have been, oh, here we go. It was, okay, so I use a different wallet, but I just want to show you guys something here really quickly on this wallet, if you guys can see it. So I've got a little bit of nothing here. I've got, like 333 Vechain that's worth about $9 or $10. Man, this camera is supposed to focus on my face, so it's really hard to get it. There we go. So you can see I don't have hardly any Vechain in this particular wallet, but that 333 Vechain, I want to show you guys something, has created this 44 VTHO. So this token spits off a gas token just for holding it in your wallet. And I know that's only 11 cents, but it's a free 11 cents. And that's on 333 Vechain. So if we go back here to this page, you can see here that $250 in Vechain right now would get me, 9,300 Vechain. So 9,300 Oh, give me a break, guys. 9,300 divided by 333 is about 28. So 28, and then what did I show you? Like it was 44 VTHO, so 44 times the 28. I would actually have a little over 1,200 VTHO. And the thing is it's just free money. I mean, you basically earn this VTHO for doing nothing but holding the Vechain in the wallet. And you can see, VETHO right now is sitting at, 0.002 cents. But this also, during the last bull market, this thing was all the way up to almost 5 cents. And so this is another great project if you hold it long term and you just keep accumulating and letting the VETHO, VTHO, accrue also. It's a really nice little passive income. And it's another one where if you get a nice big bag, imagine that you had, $100,000 worth of Vechain, and it was spitting off this VTHO token, and then VTHO goes back up to 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents a token, and you're getting those in your wallet every single second of the day. They accrue like every 10 seconds you see the number go up. So that is what I would do, folks, if I had $1,000 to invest today. I would do the 2 trades on Polygon and HBAR, 150 each. That's 300. 100 in Bitcoin makes 400. 100 in token in makes 500. And then 250 into Atom, and I'd get it staked. And then 250 in Vechain, and I would get the Vechain put in a decentralized wallet where the VETHO was, was building up. So with that, folks, before so John Lopez says, Stake Cosmo on Leap Wallet has a very high pay. So I appreciate that, John. I'm looking forward to looking into that. I was going to move my tokens, John, off of Coinbase because I'm only getting 15% on Coinbase. But I noticed when I went to Cosmos and I started looking at their ecosystem and I was looking for validators that I could stake my Atom tokens on, it was still only going to be about 14 or 15% because most of the validators charge a 5% fee. So while it's possible to get 19 or 20% on your Atom tokens, it ain't easy to find a way to do it because everybody, like the validators, Coinbase is getting 20% and then they're paying back out about 15%. But that's what I kind of found to be true for most of the validators. So I will check out the Leap wallet and double check its safety. Once again, folks, John has been around the channel for a long time. I like John. I trust John. But at the same time, never take my advice or anybody's advice for, just as being, the God's honest truth. So go do your research. Do your due diligence on the Leap wallet. I'm going to check it out too, but always be very, very careful anytime you are taking your tokens and trusting them in a app where you're, hopefully this Leap wallet, you actually still have some control over your tokens. That's the one thing about Coinbase, that even though it's a centralized exchange, I'm not worried about Coinbase going out of business or running off with my money. So a safe 15% on Coinbase is almost better, in my opinion, than a 17 or 18% ROI or APR on a platform where there's some risk of it getting hacked or losing your funds. So, but I do appreciate that input very much. So I will do a real quick Q&A. We're at about 52 minutes. Does anybody have any questions about this $1,000 and why this is how I'm choosing to do it before we let you get on and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday? I think you guys can see the 2 trades, while they're high reward, in my opinion, they're medium risk. They're not high risk and they're not low risk, but they're definitely not real high risk, in my opinion, because you can put in a ladder or two to really put yourself in a position to where I don't believe you have to worry about getting liquidated on these trades if you've got a few backup dollars. But so even though they're not a lot of money, $50 to $150, I showed you on the example where that can turn into $5, $6, $7, $8, $10, $15,000. So those are medium risk but high reward. 100 in Bitcoin, I explained that. That's just my bank account. That's more like a savings account where, and but instead of a savings account that is losing money faster than inflation is going up, it's a savings account where I'm going to have more buying power as time goes by. In other words, if you look at how many Bitcoin it would have cost you to buy a house, say back in 2020. And let's just say, for instance, back in 2020, Bitcoin was, let's say when it was around 20 grand. So even let's just go back to 2018. Bitcoin was 20 grand. If you had 10 Bitcoin, you could have bought a pretty reasonable house for a couple $100,000 in a lot of areas. The market hadn't gone absolutely, crazy yet. And so now though, let's just say that you had 200,000 in cash or you had 10 Bitcoin. Well, back then in 2018, you could have bought a house with your 10 Bitcoin. You could have bought a house with the $200,000. But here we are 7 years later, and if all you did was hold on to the 200,000 in cash, you'd have a tough time buying any type of a decent place in most areas of the United States with $200,000. But had you held those 10 Bitcoin for the last 7 years, they would be worth 870,000, and you could still buy a pretty nice house in a lot of areas. Like even in Las Vegas, there's a lot of houses for $400,000 or $500,000, and if you get up into that $850,000, $900,000 range, you're getting a house that's got a swimming pool and potentially a basketball court and big 4 or 5 bedroom house, 2,500, 3,500 square feet for that kind of money. So my point is the 200,000 in cash is much less powerful today than it was in 2018. That $200,000 house in 2018 is probably 400 or 500 minimum now. And that's why I say you couldn't buy a house. You couldn't buy the same house today that you could have bought in 2018. But if you had Bitcoin, not only would you be able to buy that same house for 400,000 or 500,000, but you'd have a couple 200,000 or 300,000 left over to furnish it with. And so Bitcoin is my savings account, and then 10 is my high risk play. I love the project. I love the owner. I believe they've got great intentions. I believe they're working hard, but that is $100 bill that I'm willing to light on fire. And if I'm wrong and that project goes out of business, I'm out $100. But in my opinion, if I'm right and it doesn't go out of business, sky's the limit. That is a token that could do some pretty amazing multiples over the years. And so that's my real high risk play. And then we go back to Atom and Vechain. Both of those are low risk plays, in my opinion. Atom and Vechain have been around for multiple years. They've made it through multiple bear and bull cycles. And they both, in my opinion, have been beaten down pretty darn low and have a lot of room to grow. And part of the reason that I picked those coins, guys, is because I'm starting to transition. I want you guys to focus on buying tokens and being excited for the capital gains that you're going to make. But I also want you guys to start building a portfolio that's going to spit off cash flow to you, because cash flow is king. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago that $1 million in the bank earning you 6% interest would give you a lot of freedom. That'd give you $60,000 a year in life to just enjoy, doing whatever you wanted to do. You'd probably be able to work a lot less, take more vacations, have a higher quality of life with $1 million in the bank that was earning you $5,000 a month. Well, folks, we also talked on that video about how you don't have to wait until you have $1 million in the bank to create a $5,000 a month income stream. In some of these tokens like Atom and Vechain that are spitting off, cash flow, can help you build up that passive income to where you can have the freedom that you want. Remember, folks, this channel is all about freedom. Freedom is our war cry. This is a channel built on people that don't want other people telling them what to do all the time. You don't want your boss telling you when you can go to the bathroom, when you can take a vacation. You know, sorry, Brad, but I know your son has a football game on Saturday, but we're way behind schedule on this big project. I need you to work on Saturday. Those are the reasons that I work so hard, is I didn't want somebody else to have their thumb on me and be able to tell me what I could and couldn't do, who I could and couldn't spend time with. So those last two plays, the Vechain and the Atom, are definitely a couple of solid, low-risk plays with high reward. And, you know, yeah, Dave, me too. I haven't picked up any recently, but this is an incredible time to dollar cost average. And then once again, guys, go play the game. Like if you like got an Xbox or a PlayStation and you play some video games anyways, go check out this game. You might like it, and you can earn 10 tokens and you can participate in this $10,000 prize pool. And then for those of you that live in, you know, countries that aren't as affluent as the United States, maybe you're living in a country where, you know, $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 an hour isn't a bad wage. Folks, in my opinion, if you take advantage of opportunities like this 10 game and you can build up 10 tokens while they are beat up, and this thing goes, you know, from its 4.5 or 0.045 that it's at right now, and it just runs back up to, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 cents. That is a massive, massive gain. Can you imagine picking up a, you know, whatever, call it $1 a day playing this game? And then this token 50x's on you. And if you're somebody that $2, $3, $4, $5 a day is what you're living off of right now, and all of a sudden these tokens that you're holding on to in a month or 3 or 6, or even if it took 5 years for it to go back up to 50 cents, and you turn this dollar into $50 or $100, and you're just playing this game for free, making $1 a day in tokens or whatever it is. Maybe it's only 25 cents. I don't know. But my point is, go check it out, man. It's free money. So with that, folks, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to take a quick peek at the schedule. I don't think that I have any more live streams scheduled for this particular week. So, you know, still keep an eye out. Last second things could come up. We could have a deep dive or something that we publish, but I think this might be it until next week. So thank you all for being here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I mean, I'm looking at the chat, and every single one of you that I'm seeing over here in the chat, we're pretty much here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I appreciate the heck out of you. I love you for being here, man. I appreciate each and every minute that you spend with me, and especially because I am a firm believer that time is your most valuable asset, and it's a very much a big honor that you spend a little bit of it with me. I hope today makes you some money. I hope that you liked some of the ideas that I had, and I would love to come back in a month or 2 or 3 and revisit this video and see how we did with this $1,000 bucks. The last thing I'll say, folks, is don't look at today's video and go, I don't have $1,000. Folks, you can do everything that we talked about here on a fractional basis. If you've only got $100, go put 15 of it, $5 and $5 into the 2 trades, and then $10 and $10 on the backup trades. Go buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. Go buy $25 worth of Atom, $25 worth of Vechain, $10 worth of 10. And if you're somewhere in between the 1,000 and the 100, then, you know, just adjust accordingly. If you got 500 to invest today, do half of everything that we talked about. If you got 10,000 instead of 1,000, then go do 10 times. Go do, you know, 10 times what we did today. Buy 1,000 in Bitcoin, 2,500 in Atom, 2,500 in Vechain. You know, once again, not financial advice, but I never want somebody that's sitting here watching this to go, oh man, that must be nice. You got $1,000 to go invest. That's wonderful. I don't. And I don't want you to feel bad because it's all relative. If I've got 1,000 and you've got 100, and I take my 1,000 and I turn it into 10,000, that's just as powerful. If you take your 100 and turn it into $1,000, that's still going to be very powerful, you know, for you guys. So with that, folks, have an incredible rest of your day. Have an incredible rest of your week, and we will talk again soon. God bless. Take care.